Can't tell on the camera.
Yeah.
We're not 4K. We don't have 4K.
Not yet. Don't let him hear you say that.
What's that?
We'll be 4K tomorrow if he hears you
Oh,
say
I
that.
know. Then I'd have to really get into makeup. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickert, the good guy they know, the co-host, Danny Berg, turning to Tom, the SID behind the camera.
Oh, all right.
Is that a good one?
That is. That's it.
I was going to say turn to Tom or turning to Tom, but turn to.
Turn two.
Turn to Tom.
Turn to, yeah, because turning to sounds like I'm just turning two.
Yeah.
And that's not.
You can't have two in the household doing that.
Yeah, no, I don't need that right now.
Turn to Tom, the SID for baseball season.
Wow. That was like breaking news. Just completely caught
Well,
me
I've had
off guard. Oh, you're just sitting on it until basketball's finally done?
Right.
And then we're in
I thought the other day when I was
baseball,
running.
softball mode? All right.
Yeah. So now that it's
Maybe I could start running and start thinking.
now that I do my best thinking when I'm out running.
Yeah, maybe I should try that because I know I don't think.
Yeah, sometimes it gets me into trouble though. My best.
And I
thinking.
don't run. Apparently.
Yeah, so it's, but yeah, basketball season is unfortunately over, so no more triple threat time. It's turn to Tom.
Turn two, Tom. All right, sounds good.
Yes. So basketball had an exciting week last week. We had a great Thursday night for the men here against Essex County.
Yep.
Raucous gymnasium. Can you hear the noise on the live stream?
I'll have to listen back to the actual live stream. I can tell you I'm pretty sure Steve and I were yelling over each other at one point. That was you guys have been here longer than I have, but
it's been the loudest.
That was one of the best crowds I think I can remember for a Lackawanna event in a long, long time, probably.
Okay. I wasn't here, so.
I mean, I've been here for 5,000 people in the gym, and it was just as loud when there was whatever we had with the noise.
But especially like one of our games, especially involving us.
I saw some pictures in it. I haven't seen that many people at one of our home events in a really long time.
It was a good turnout, and it really helped push our guys through the finish.
And it wasn't just students too. Shout out to the staff, the faculty. Saw a couple people from down the hill that made their way up to watch the game, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, so it was a good performance overall. It got them to the finals. Well, we don't.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, even in basketball's such a long season. I mean, they can start official practice October 1, but they have off-season stuff, 8 hours a week, and the first day they're on campus in August, they're in the gym, whether they're with their coach or not. Like they want to shoot around and things like that. So it's long and it's in a lot of time and it's not easy. They had ups and downs but like I'm sad that I missed that crowd and that overtime game and to be able to come out on top. And I mean, Coach Gabriel has really, I think, put his mark on the program. Maybe not with like the championship this year, but they previously had won one. He had been Coach of the Year, but making us perennial contenders for a region championship.
Yep. So it was nice. Amir Mack, and Nasir Brown led the way Thursday night in an overtime victory. Everyone contributed in that win. It was a good up and down, fast-paced game. Got up to a big lead, and we relinquished the lead, and we go to overtime and find a way to pull it off. And like I said, it was very exciting. So thanks to everyone that came out for Thursday night for the home finale, and then Tom went up to Branchburg, New Jersey, to see them play Raritan, and we had a lead, and then we battled back and back and forth, and just couldn't pull it off. What was the final, Tom?
Final was 75-65.
Right. It was closer than that than the final score.
They unfortunately the last 5:30 or so of the game just couldn't hit a shot.
Right.
I think we only had one free throw the rest of the way, and that was after we had scored. Nasir had 15 points in the second half. Right. Had scored a bucket to make it 64-63. Us. coming back from down about 8 at one point.
Right.
But then Raritan's a very good basketball team.
They're the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. Langton's the lead back out. That's their first region championship too. So they were hungry to try to get that home. Yep. And at home, they had a pretty good home crowd too.
Home court advantages.
It's huge.
But Nasir had a great second half. We were shorthanded a little bit. Malik was suspended for the game due to maybe a technical foul or two, and
maybe 2.
Nothing crazy that got him stuff.
No,
but just in a high intense game that Thursday night was, his emotions maybe just got the best of him, and so he wasn't able to participate. And there's some foul trouble Saturday. Left us a little bit shorthanded, but not to make excuses because Raritan is a well-deserved champion. But a great season to the guys and Coach Gabriel, and I know that Coach Gabriel's anxious to get them back in the weight room, so we'll be back in there in a couple of weeks after we give them a little rest.
Yeah, I saw him in the hallway yesterday, and he said what you said, just couldn't hit the shot.
Yep.
And he said earlier in the year maybe shot themselves in the foot, maybe getting swept by Essex, maybe had they split or some of those close games, or you win another region game that you previously lost, and then you're the 1 seed.
You might be home.
And he said that home court advantage is huge. And that was just a brief conversation in the hallway when I was leaving yesterday. So it's all the things that we've already talked about, and it's understanding. And he said once they get back from spring break, he's looking forward to getting them doing some off-season stuff and getting some of the guys that are moving on some looks. And
there were guys in the gym yesterday. Some I saw Nasir Brown was in there, Amir Mack, a bunch of them were in there. Just playing around already in the gym.
I had to chase them for intramurals. So they were as long as the women, which leads to why you weren't there Thursday. You went to the shoebox down in Union County.
I did. I experienced my first. So I've been to Union County for soccer back when I was coaching. But I hadn't been there, so it's something to experience. It's it's quite this small gym. I knew the playing surface was small. I didn't realize how small the gym itself was. But I will say the hospitality of everybody from when I got there, because they were limiting how many people were in the gym. They had a commons area set out. I got to sit and talk to one of their deans, who is maybe a vice president now. She was director of admissions forever. And then Taylor Nelson, who works in their office, helped me out on my pass list. So women's basketball, talking about home court advantage, it is 3 rows of bleachers, and it is tight, and they are used to playing in there, and their atmosphere with their students and their basketball team was very, very...
It seemed pretty loud.
Yeah, it was. And our women, they lost by 20. They started off with high intensity, high energy, and I said they missed their first 5 free throws. So missed an early layup and then the first 5 free throws. And not that that's going to make separation. It was, man,
just missed opportunity.
But when you're an underdog on the road, you got to make a free throw.
And it's 7-0. Where even if you hit 2 or the 3, even if you hit your first 3 of 5, you're only a basket down from being in contention. So they battled back a little bit, and it was kind of back and forth for the first quarter. The separation really happened in the third quarter.
Right, yeah. I saw that they cut it to 9 at one point in the second quarter.
It got to, in the third quarter,
halftime,
just after halftime, it was 35-30. They scored the first 4 points of the second half, and then Union hit a lot of 3-point shots, it felt like on Thursday.
They did number 2 or 0, just pop. I think she had 15, and they weren't missing. And to be honest with you, it's not that our shots weren't falling. Their pressure was so high that it was difficult to get the shots off. But they were a good team, and home court. It was a 2-3 matchup. We beat them earlier in the season, but that's why you play against a long year. And it was my experience to be there. It was different.
Good.
I understand.
We're all glad here that you made the trip.
I bet. And I was getting my updates from Tom a little bit, and then Josh on the ride home because I would rather get the updates while I'm driving than putting up the live stream and watching it because I was kind of already, just making sure that I was safe getting home.
Yes, right. Exactly, stuff too. But
I almost made it back if it went into a second overtime.
But that puts a wrap on Coach Spinch's, first year. So she'll have an opportunity to make more an imprint, with the recruiting cycle coming up and getting a full roster of her girls and really see what team she wants to put together. We know what Coach Gabriel wants to put together, team-wise, and now we'll really get to see what Coach Spence wants.
After the last few years, it's no small accomplishment just to get through a season. We know that now. After what happened with the pandemic, we know it's no small accomplishment to finally finish your season and get it, even if it didn't end the way you wanted to. But to start to finish,
Right.
get there,
And
it's
really
a big
only
deal.
one team gets to finish the season the way they want to. It's how unfortunate sports is.
It's why we love it and why we hate it.
Right.
All at the same time, whether it's a loss in the championship like the men, it's like, or on that Thursday in the semis, they got that second season, I think, which should be everybody's goal at the beginning of the year to get themselves into playoffs, because you never know what can happen.
Yep, exactly. So, all right, so that's a look at what's happened. So congratulations to all of our men's and women's basketball players, coaching staff, and all for a great season. Thanks for taking us along for the ride, but we got things to look ahead to, so let's take a quick little break. Oh, speaking of, let's go Amir Mack, Athlete of the Week. I know he's going to be unavailable to talk to, but we'll put a nice graphic up right here.
He had 31 points and 14 rebounds in the win over Essex on Thursday night. Was a monster.
Which
again.
included his 5 fouls also.
Yep.
So if you want to put that
Stat line.
Yeah, 31, 4, and 5. 14 and 5. So, but congratulations, to Amir. So we'll give him a little shout out right here.
Right here.
And then, so let's take a break, and then we'll see what's going ahead for the rest of the spring semester.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be back on the Falcons Corner. Take flight.
Imagine the innovator you could be tomorrow with an innovative education today from Lackawanna College. Our Level Up program puts high school students on an early college pathway for an easier college transition and faster degree attainment at a dramatically lower cost. That's why Fast Company named us one of the world's most innovative companies. With an education from Lackawanna College, imagine where you'll be tomorrow. This is life-changing. This is Lackawanna College. Oil and gas jobs are back. Are you looking for a life-changing experience? Lackawanna College's School of Petroleum and Natural Gas can put you on a path to a lucrative career in the production and delivery of America's energy in just 2 years. Choose from 2 degree programs or 2 certificate programs with internships that give students real-world and practical experience in the field. Lackawanna College will give you the education you need to build a career in this exciting industry. This is life-changing. This is Lackawanna College. Apply today at lackawanna.edu.
We are back on the Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickert. Good guy to know. Co-host Danny Berg. Turn 2 Tom.
Turn 2 Tom.
Yes, I do. Can you put a little guys turning 2 right now?
And I was thinking of Tommy Two Bags for the longest time.
Tommy Two Bags.
I was like, Tommy Two Bags.
Well, that could be misunderstood on a couple of levels, probably.
Yeah. I don't know. I used to work at soccer camp, and one of the counselors always loved getting ice cream for everybody, so they called them Tommy Two Scoops.
Speaking of turn 2, our baseball team was on the road this past week down to Division I Hartford, who is a really very, very good Division I team on the East Coast, probably one of the better teams on the East Coast, and we split.
Yeah.
Kyle Scott started game 1, threw an inning, Coach McCary got everyone nervous, thought he was hurt because he only threw 1 inning, but that was just the plan all along.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so everyone was in a panic. What the heck happened to Kyle?
Coach McCary spent, I'd probably say, about an hour yesterday reassuring everybody in this building that Kyle Scott did not get hurt.
Yes.
Oh, God, really? I had no idea.
Yes, he threw an inning. And then I thought the same thing because I was watching the live stream and the live stats during the first game while I was in the weight room, and Kyle had an inning. Then I saw in the live stats whoever came in the second inning, the pitch. I said, "Oh crap, there we go."
Was it just so he could throw on a third?
He was on a little. Mike won't throw. Coach won't throw him without extended rest because he cares about our guys.
He does, yes.
And he's looking ahead to his future. Other than Mike's coach is not selfish in the fact that he just wants to win.
There was a couple scouts.
So there's some scouts, and they made a deal that we'll throw you an inning.
All right, because he from the previous Saturday, so this was Thursday, right?
Right.
That we played. We bumped it from Sunday or Saturday to Thursday.
Exactly.
So he was. I think Coach wants to get him on 7 to 8 days rest.
Yeah, that's good.
So then that way he'll be fresh to go for Saturday.
Right.
This upcoming Saturday.
Right.
Okay. So
that's
after,
good.
After that was the first thing I asked Michael was what the heck happened to Kyle? And he's like, oh, he just threw an inning. He's fine. I'm like, okay, good enough. So they won game 1 and then had a chance to sweep the doubleheader, but fell up just a little bit short. Left some guys on base. Advanced a lot of runners in the scoring position. Just could not get a big hit to score some runs. But going down to Hartford, taking 1 out of 2.
1 out of 2, and also I think on Tuesday we saw the weather for the weekend, and Saturday was going to be a no-go. Sunday it wasn't going to rain, but it was going to be 25-mile-an-hour winds and 40 degrees. But with Thursday it was 80, so it's spring sports, and a lot of logistics, and you got to be ready to go, and anything can happen. But I mean, kudos to Hartford for wanting to move it up as well. So they didn't lose the game because we all know that.
Like I said, East Coast baseball, no one wants to lose games,
and we were 3-1, right? To start the season.
Yes,
is that where we're at
3-1 as we head south, and I think the big thing of that is forget the record, but we got to play 4 games before they head down south, because that was always a disadvantage I think for us northern teams going down to play teams that already have scheduled and played a dozen games or so. So we've gotten some action. So that's good. The rescheduling affected myself a little bit because then I had to find someone else to work the shot clock. So shout out to my cousin, my dad.
Tim Lavelle
came in and ran the shot clock for Thursday night to take over from the firstborn.
He's Mr. Official of Northeast Pennsylvania sports, and not just on the court. You could take that official role behind the table.
Yes, and he called, and I know we're going back to basketball, but I had to yell at the polar bear because the polar bear was running the clock, and then my cousin Timmy reassured me that everything's going to be okay.
Good.
And to leave Mason alone. But our baseball heads off. They leave Friday. Hopefully the weather cooperates because we might get some sloppy weather up north here. So hopefully it won't affect their travel plans too much. But they'll be gone the whole week during spring break. Through the Carolinas and Virginia.
Yep, they have some games scheduled.
Yep, so they'll play a handful of games, and then those results will be on LackawannaFalcons.com, and any game day stuff, information, live streams, Tom posts all that
you
stuff.
got it.
Yep, it'll be there.
So I know.
So you can follow.
Just in case I have to watch.
Softball
is yet to play, but they're still working their tails off in the weight room in the gym down at Riverfront Sports and getting outside whenever they can. And they will also leave Friday.
They will be heading down to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, and they're going to be playing at a new location this year. They're not playing at the Ripken Experience.
Right.
They're going to be playing a different.
It's a little bit more up north, I think.
It's north, but there's more schools.
Yes.
And there'll be a bigger variety of teams that you get to play. You're not playing the same 3 ones while you're down there. But I think they open up on Sunday. They leave on Friday. They'll stop them about halfway. They'll stay overnight and finish up the ride on Saturday. Get there, have a practice, and then play. I think they're anywhere from 10 to 14 games scheduled down there. I can't.
Yeah, I know Coach Pitt.
I know he was trying to get some more.
He said that he paid more to play more games.
Right.
So he's a gamer. He wants to go out and schedule as many as he can.
Especially now they're chomping at the bit.
Yeah, especially when you see the baseball team getting out there and they just aren't able to get out yet.
Yeah.
But best of luck to our softball players. And Tom, once again, will post everything on LackawannaFalcons.com and then any stuff on our social media stuff. Great. Perfect. And Coach Pitt always puts stuff on.
He does.
We always shout out the baseball Twitter and stuff, but Coach Pitt does a great job
and his staff with it.
Yes. And now that leads us up to the big event, Iowa. We have our 5 dudes going out to 6 dudes. Going out to Council Bluffs, Iowa, to compete for a national championship.
Yes, sir. March 3rd and 4th is the competition dates. Coach Barbary and Coach McNulty have 6 guys that we talked about it last week. We have 3 district champions. Would we have 1 runner-up and a 3rd place finisher and a 4th place finisher?
Right.
And those 6 guys are ready to go and compete. We had a meeting with them yesterday. Iowa Western Community College is hosting at the Mid-America Center. So it's Iowa Western Community College, but we're 5 miles from downtown Omaha.
Right.
Team will be setting up to get out there on Wednesday night and practice on Thursday. And we start 9 a.m. Central Time, so 10 a.m. Eastern Time Friday morning. And the seeds came out, and some of our guys, we have three of our wrestlers are seeded. Anywhere from 8 to 11.
Yeah.
I think Dylan Hogan's the highest at 8.
Okay.
Ray Yonamani is at 11, and I think Shannon is at 10. Actually, right? Is that
Shannon's 14.
Or 14.
Cordell, I think, was either 10 or 11.
Okay.
So.
Right. So they only seed district champions and runner-ups, and there's a field. Some of them have 32 people competing.
Right.
Others have a little bit less, a little bit more, but decent draws, I think.
Good.
And it doesn't really matter, I guess, where you're seated. No one really has a bye. You got to go and you got to win.
Yep.
You got to see what's in front of you. And getting that first win on Thursday, and my time out there is huge because then it limits how many times you have to wrestle to come back to try to be a place winner.
Right.
But I know some of our guys are legitimately looking for medals, All-American status, and one in particular really genuinely feels if things go the right way and he's healthy that he can win a national championship. And I'm really excited for that, and hopefully we can report back on that. I'll be traveling.
Yep.
I love going out.
So you'll report on everything for us.
Yeah.
I know you'll give us some updates.
I'll give updates while we're there. I'll send some pictures to Tom in real time And you can go to the njcaa.org and watch any of the championships on the NJCAA network. It's paid.
Yep.
You have to log in. But I talked to some of the kids yesterday, and some of them have parents going out there. Ironically, Dylan Hogan's mother is from Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Sure.
And they have family there. She mentioned it at districts, and then I talked with him yesterday. He said, "Oh yeah, she's from there." Yeah. They said Western Iowa. I'm like, "Where?" She's like, "That town." It's like, get out of here! Yeah. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. So it's great to have Lackawanna on the national level in any sport, but it's really wrestling's hard. Yeah. It's not easy. Yeah. And just such a self-disciplined sport. They're talking about their weight and their travel and their food. And, it's not like when the football team just goes to the buffet. It's like, all right, we're going to have to go grocery shopping. Right. Like all those things because that's their home for 5 days. Yep. And we can't wait.
Yep. We can't wait. So it'll be exciting. So, again, Tom will have all those stuff posted. Yeah. Don't want to pay to watch.
You can be takedown Tom on that one.
Yes, that's a good one. Yes, great. Tech fall time.
Yes.
But best of luck to all of our athletes completing over the spring break and for championships and getting their seasons rolling. Most of all, travel safely because we have a lot of athletes that are spending some time on airplanes or in buses or in vans for quite a while. And good luck to us for not having to do too much work next week because of spring break.
I hope not. Are we not going to discuss about that?
Well, we blue, gray, blue. Right? So, we got it going on. So
he's my twin.
Yes, but we'll still be back next week during spring break to
maybe
put a show together.
Oh, we will.
Okay, we'll have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, we'll have more to talk about.
I'm going to be off next Tuesday, but I'm still going to come in and film the show.
Wow.
Because I am the Iron Man.
Okay.
I have never missed a show, and I refuse to miss a show.
Not. Yeah. Well, we could also change the date that we do it, but no, that's okay.
Well, I'm not going to be here Monday neither.
Okay.
And then Wednesday, we discussed I will be traveling for work.
He's the traveling man.
Yes, I'll bring in my CPR dummies.
3, 4. Yep.
I'm
glad you said CPR, not just dummies.
Yes, those variety of centers that Lackawanna College has throughout the North.
Mr. CPR over here.
So
we'll be back on next Tuesday to film. Yep. We'll talk about Wednesday.
Yeah. All right, good. Awesome. All right, great show today, everybody. Wonderful job. So. Great job to everyone involved.
I think it was great to not have a live studio audience for the first time in a while.
Yes.
It's been a minute.
So we'll see you next week on the Falcons Corner. Everyone take flight.